Welcome back to the Smugsy Show. I'm Smugsy, your host, identifying as the Barstool Cougar. My pronouns are first and third person. Each week, for your entertainment and intellectual arousal, you can sling it here with me, Smugsy, Wall Street groupie, exploring the intersection of sports, politics, and business and society. This week's Cougar of the Week, Jane Fraser, first CEO of a major Wall Street bank, Citigroup. She's 53 years old, married to a Cuban former banker, Pedro. Jane Fraser, Scottish, reminds me of Skyfall, the Bond movie. Studied at Cambridge, got her MBA at Harvard. Just stellar career, raised two boys. Superstar, rock star, first Wall Street CEO. I bought 20 shares of Citigroup today for $46.43 as a token of my support. Congratulations, Jane Fraser, Cougar of the Week. The issue we're going to sling around this week has to do with the Big Ten football conference. Today, the conference reversed itself and decided, no, we're going to play ball. And the Big Ten is going to begin the football season. It had said in August was going to be postponed until 2021. The presidents of the colleges that make up the conference reversed themselves just one day after the chancellor of the University of Wisconsin, a member of the conference, testified down in Washington before a U.S. Senate subcommittee that the postponement was going to stand because of the medical challenges. Well, they changed their mind, and the presidents voted to proceed based on what they say is an advancement in the technology and the testing capacity that the conference has. They're going to be able to test with such precision, and they hope, to prevent, the spread of the pandemic. And some people are opposed. Many people are very, very excited. Presidential politics has come into it. President Trump was a big proponent of the Big Ten playing football and made that clear when he was campaigning there last week, which just so happens to be where the battleground states are that they're going to determine the outcome of the 2020 election, like Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Ohio. So the president now, of course, is taking credit for the football season, and we'll see if the college conference is successful and brings a certain level of happiness to the general population that is otherwise depressed because of the bleak reality of the day-to-day news. Fires, pandemics, hurricanes, recession, race riots. There's not a lot to be happy about. So if the Big Ten brings a level of happiness, Trump could get some political currency in November. If playing football kills off like a promising generation of young American kids, then that could be bad. So we'll see. Sports columnist Christine Brennan wrote a scathing article in USA Today saying this is the darkest moment for the Big Ten Conference, and she knows a lot about it because she went to Northwestern and writes about sports and is like a big Big Ten, fan. And she said that the presidents totally caved to the political pressure and bullying of coaches, and that this is the height of hypocrisy and moral depravity. She thinks it's just basically pathetic, asinine. But not everybody agrees with her. Not everybody agrees with Christine Brennan. Some people think she's an asshole, like Big Barstool Tennessee or Big Tennessee Barstool. He wrote a blog today that says, Christine Brennan is the asshole. Who's the asshole? It's Christine Brennan. He says this decision was good, that the presidents, he points out a lot of the presidents of these college conferences are PhDs. One guy's an epidemiologist from Michigan. And they made the decision to reverse themselves, to allow the season to go on based on current science and advances around testing. They're going to be able to test players immediately and know before a game if anyone's positive, and they have new saliva tests, and they have, thousands and thousands of tests. So one change for the Big Ten is that normally those stadiums that would otherwise be a hotbed of COVID stew, if they allowed the stadiums to fill up like they normally do, they're going to limit the audience to only family members of the players, the Big Ten Conference players, which is, you can see the writing on the wall, right? Like, whose family? So now you're going to need a COVID test to get in. You need a paternity test, cardiac test. But really, you could make the case, if you think about it. We're all family, right? We're all children of Abraham. Just today, there was the Accord, the Abraham Accord, a peace accord that's going to let the United States sell more weapons to Israel and the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain. Well, it's called the Arab Accord because the Abraham Accord. It's called the Abraham Accord because Abraham is the father of all the major religions, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. And so you could make the case, I can see the game because I'm a family member, because we're all children of Abraham, and if they deny you entrance, you could sue them. You could sue the Big Ten. So there's football, there's potential for discrimination and other lawsuits and protests, so it's all good. I say, Mike, I come down on the side of Big Tennessee. If there was a process, and the process was followed to postpone the season, and the presidents of the conference, the members voted, and then they used that same process to reverse themselves, I'm fine with it. There's going to be a constant balancing of needs and resources and science, and so I'm okay with it. The final topic of the show is this week's poll question. Another sports topic, and that is the sports radio host Dan McNeil is out, right? He lost his job after 28 years being sports talk radio 670 The Score out of Chicago. Very, very popular radio show. Well, he tweeted out about Maria Taylor, who is a very excellent, has a really good reputation as a sports columnist herself. But this was the first time she was reporting as a sideline reporter for Monday Night Football. And she appeared for the television segment in kind of a urban, power outfit. It was whoa. It was leather jacket that was kind of missing shoulders, but very just beautiful. And she looked great. And of course, she did an excellent job. Well, he tweeted out this thing she looks like, basically comparing her to a porn star or an adult film awards host. So his boss felt that his tweet was demeaning and offensive. So his boss canned him. Maria Taylor, tweeted back at him, clapped back, basically said, she pivoted and made it about her in a really good way, and pointed out kind of what a loser he was. So she had nothing to do with him getting fired, but he did get fired. And the poll question this week is, do you think that Dan McNeil deserved to be fired? You can answer the poll on Twitter if you follow me at Smugsy Girl. There'd be a poll question. Did Dan McNeil deserve to be fired? Or you can comment on the YouTube channel in the comments, or you can call the Smugsy studio at 207-747-7044. I hope you'll subscribe to the Smugsy Show, and until next week, this is Smugsy signing off. Take care.